Inventory management. Inventory decisions are high risk and high impact from the perspective of logistics operations. In this lesson, we are going to study the dynamics of inventory management. It follows from the previous slide that after studying this lesson, you should be able to understand the characteristics of inventory, define the different steps of inventory management, make the planning of inventory resource, define economic order quantity, EOQ. Inventory can be of three types, namely manufacturing, wholesaler, and retail. The manufacturer's inventory commitment starts with raw material and component parts, includes work in process, and ends with finished goods. The wholesaler purchases large quantities from manufacturers and sells small quantities to retailers. For a retailer, inventory management is fundamentally a matter of buying and selling. Retailer inventory risk can be viewed as wide but not deep. Because of high rents, retailers place prime emphasis on inventory turnover and direct product profitability. The three main factors in inventory control decision-making process are the cost of holding the stock, the cost of placing an order, or the setup cost of production, and the cost of shortage, that is, what is lost if the stock is insufficient to meet all demand. The ABC classification system is to grouping items according to annual sales volume in an attempt to identify the small number of items that will account for most of the sales volume and that are the most important ones to control for effective inventory management. Reorder point can be understood as the inventory level R in which an order is placed, where R equals to the multiplication of demand rate period and the lead time. Safety stock is the remaining inventory between the times that an order is placed and when the new stock is received. If there are not enough inventories, then a shortage may occur. The risk of carrying additional inventory depends on the nature of the demand, which may be dependent on other variables such as inflation rate, changes in habits and tastes, or independent of all such variables, as in the case of necessary goods. Now let us discuss some inventory functionaries. Functions of inventory are concerned with geographical specialization, decoupling, balancing supply and demand, buffering uncertainties. Inventory policy includes what to purchase or manufacture, when to take action, in what quantity. Service level is the target specified by management. Performance cycle can be explained as the elapsed time between the release of a purchase order by a customer and the receipt of the corresponding shipment. Average inventories include cycle, safety stock, and transit inventory components. Cycle inventory include portion of average inventory that results from the replenishment process. Replenishment order is placed so that stock will arrive before a stock out occurs. Safety stock inventory is the second part of average inventory, is the stock held to protect against the impact of uncertainty on each facility. Just a few minutes ago, we discussed what is reorder point. Now, inventory resource planning requires determining the order point. By the help of the formula given, we have also solved an example. Then we determine how much to order. This is done by calculating economic order quantity by the help of the formula given. Again, the example illustrates the determination of the lot size. Here, you must remember that not all resupply situations operate with uniform usage rates like those in the previous EOQ competitions. In many manufacturing situations, the demand for a specific component tends to occur at irregular intervals and for varied quantities. The options available include lot-for-lot sizing, which is the most basic form of discrete ordering, is to plan purchases to cover net requirements over a specified period. No consideration is given to the cost of ordering under lot-for-lot sizing. Period order quantity, which includes three steps, namely finding out the standard EOQ, dividing EOQ into forecasted annual usage to determine order frequency, and to divide the number of orders into the relevant time period to express the order quantity in time periods, and the time series lot sizing, the fundamental objective of which to combine requirements over several periods to arrive at procurement logic. If a manager effectively controls these three types of inventory, capital can be released that may be tied up in unnecessary inventory, production control can be improved, and can protect against obsolescence, deterioration, and/or theft. The reasons for inventory control are that it helps balance the stock as to value, size, color, style, and price line in proportion to demand or sales trends, plan the winners as well as move slow sellers, secure the best rate of stock turnover for each item, reduce expenses and markdowns, maintain a business reputation for always having new, fresh merchandise in wanted size and colors. There are three approaches to inventory management. The eyeball system is the standard inventory control system for the most of small retail and many small manufacturing operations. Reserve stock or brown bag system is much more systematic than the eyeball system. It involves keeping a reserve stock of items aside, often literally in a brown bag placed at the rear of the stock bin or storage area. When the last unit of open inventory is used, the brown bag of reserve stock is opened and the new supplies it contains are placed in the bin as open stock. At this time, a reorder is immediately placed. If the reserve stock quantity has been calculated properly, the new shipment should arrive just as the last of the reserve stock is being used. Perpetual inventory systems include manual, card-oriented and computer-operated systems. Now let us see how much you have understood. State whether the following statements are true or false. EOQ must be tested for transportation cost sensitivity across a range of weight breaks if transportation expenses are the buyer's responsibility. True or false? True. Decoupling processes permit each product to be manufactured and distributed in economical lot sizes. True or false? True. The last sentence says that the statutory inventory represents stock that is either moving or awaiting movement. True or false? False. Inventory management is a vital part of logistics management. The two basic approaches that are used to determine when an order needs to be placed are fixed quantity replenishment system and fixed interval replenishment system.